Our unit was $14.99, although again, base models start at $9.99. Also configured in our machine is a 750 gig, 7200 RPM hard drive, as well as 8 gig of DDR3 1333 system memory and an NVIDIA GeForce GT 525M graphics processor with 2 gigabytes of graphics memory on board. There's also a 1 gig version of that graphics engine as well. Also on board this machine is an 8-cell lithium polymer battery, LiPo battery, that's capable of up to 8 hours and 22 minutes of battery time, so Dell claims, on a single charge. Slot load 8X DVD RW drive as well configured in our system. Now the XPS 15z by Dell has been criticized a little bit as being an Apple MacBook Pro knockoff in terms of its styling, but we would tend to disagree. Actually, we think Dell did a nice job of differentiating their machine here, and although there are some cues perhaps that, styling cues perhaps that you could say are taken from the Apple line, we would say that it's definitely differentiated enough in terms of its design. Certainly a very well built machine. Fit and finish wise, just gorgeous. Keyboard area here, rather comfortable, good shaped keycaps with nice travel and tactile response. A little bit cramped in here, to be honest. We would have suggested perhaps trimming down the speaker area on either side to spread out these keycaps a little bit more, but not a deal breaker by any stretch. Still a relatively comfortable typing experience. Large touchpad area that's a multi-touch, multi-gesture touchpad with 2-button control, and the keyboard itself is also backlit, which is nice for typing at night and other low-light situations. So here we are on the left edge of the XPS 15z. We've got an HDMI 1.4 capable port right there, mini display port right there, eSATA port, and a pair of USB 3 ports. Nice to have some higher bandwidth USB 3 ports on there. Here is a 9-in-1 flash card reader slot, and again, you know, reminiscent for sure of Apple's MacBook Pro line. Here you push this button, you've got a battery level indicator, however many of 5 available LEDs showing you the status and level of your battery power on board. And along the back edge of the XPS 15z, we've got an AC power adapter port, a vent area, and a gigabit Ethernet port. We should also note that the large hinge of the XPS 15z is very solid, very well built, and gives a very solid feel when moving the lid of the system open and close. So very rugged, well-built hinge. We should also note that the battery, unfortunately, however, on this machine is not user serviceable. Probably can't see this too well on camera, but there are 2 tiny holes right here for dual array digital mics. There's a 1.3 megapixel webcam right there, and the power button of the system is right here. Nice location, actually. We like that. It's also illuminated. You can see that Dell also bundled some pre-installed software. We would say that thankfully it's not bloatware. We have some nice utilities here. We've got a date, time, and weather widget loaded up here in the corner. Sunny 72 degrees here in the Mendon, Massachusetts Hot Hardware Lab. And as you can see down here in the bottom, we've got a number of widgets and tiles for Dell's Stage UI. Again, a new implementation of Stage here, but laid out with all kinds of handy shortcuts for music, photos, video, games, organizer, documents, other shortcuts in the system, web and support, and even an app gallery to add additional app tiles to this ribbon bar down the bottom. So a nice setup, a Windows 7 installation with some useful utilities by Dell. And here's a quick look at the bundle you get with the XPS 15z. This is the power brick. It's a 90-watt power brick. Mid-size, we would say, not too large, easily tucked away in your travel bag, so not a problem there. You get a literature kit, of course, standard owner's manual, warranty guide, all that good stuff. Roxio Creator 2011, and pre-installed drivers and utilities discs. So a fairly typical bundle for the XPS 15z, but a well-built machine in the box. And finally, here we are running Far Cry 2 at a resolution of 1280 by 720 with DX10 mode enabled and high image quality settings. We don't have anti-aliasing enabled, but as you can see, image quality is quite good, and we're going to get up north of 45 frames per second, which is excellent in this DX10 benchmark for a notebook, and that's courtesy of NVIDIA's GeForce GT 525M mobile graphics processor. You'll also note that the speaker system in this notebook is also quite good and loud, and so we're very impressed with the audio quality as well, and certainly high def video, all very capable in this machine. And so this has been a quick take look at the Dell XPS 15z thin and light notebook. Stop by our site for the full review with all the benchmark details. I'm Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware. Thanks for stopping by.